History, Standard 6, Chapter number 9, Ancient Kingdoms of the South. Today let us begin with a new chapter, Ancient Kingdoms of the South. In this chapter we are going to learn about the Sher, the Pandya and the Chola dynasties, the Satvahana dynasty, the Vakataka dynasty, the Chalukya dynasty, the Pallava dynasty and the Rashtrakut dynasty. These are the three dynasties of South India mentioned in the ancient literature. So let us begin with the first, the Sher, Pandya and the Chola dynasties. Of the many dynasties in South India, three are mentioned in the literature of those times. These are the Sher, Pandya and Chola dynasties. These dynasties were in power around the 4th century BCE or even before that. They find mention in the Ramayana and Mahabharata epics. They have also been mentioned in the Sangam literature in Tamil and in the inscriptions of the Maurya Emperor Ashoka. In the Periplus of the Erythraean Sea, Muziris is mentioned as an important port. Muziris is mentioned as an important port on the coast of Kerala. Now Muziris is a port was in Sher kingdom and was a major center for the export of spices, pearls, precious stones, etc. They used to export it to Rome in Italy and to other countries of the West. The Pandya kingdom was a part of today's Tamil Nadu. There was a great demand for their high quality pearls, and the capital of this kingdom was Madurai. The capital of Sher kingdom is Madurai. The ancient kingdom of the Cholas occupied the reign of Tiruchirappalli in Tamil Nadu. The next is Satvahana dynasty. As in the north, after the decline of the Maurya Empire, the local kings in Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka also became independent. They established small kingdoms of their own. They were having the small kingdoms. One of these was the Satvahana dynasty. Prathistan, or the present day Paitan, in Maharashtra was their capital. King Simak was the founder of Satvahana dynasty. The inscriptions in the Naneghat caves, you can see in the picture, Naneghat caves near Junar in Pune district bear the names of the important persons of this dynasty. Some of the Satvahana kings were known to write their mother's name before their own name. For example, Gautami Putra, Satkarni. Now the name of the king is Satkarni and his mother name is Gautami. So Gautami Putra Satkarni. Of the Satvahana kings, Gautami Putra Satkarni is particularly well known. A stone inscription in a cave at Nashik describes his deeds of valor. Valor means his bravery. He had defeated the Shaka king Nafuna. He is described as Tri Samudra Toyapit Vahan. Toya means water. The title means one whose horses have drunk the water of 3 seas. The 3 seas are the Arabian Sea, the Bay of Bengal and the Indian Ocean. During his reign, the empire of the Satavahanas extended from the river Narmada to the north to the Tungabhadra river in the south. The famous poetic work Gatha Saptashti in Maharashtrian, a Prakrit language. A Prakrit language was composed by Satvahana king Hala. This work provides information about the life of the people during the Satvahana period. How the people used to stay, what the food they used to eat, everything. Paitan, Ter, Bokhardan, Kolhapur were recognized as important centers of trade. During this period, many artistic objects were produced at these places. Indian goods were exported as far away as Rome. Some of the Satvahana coins carry images of ships. The cave sculptures at Ajanta, Nashik, Karla, Bhaje, Kenari, Junar in Maharashtra were carved during the Satvahana period. The next is the Vakataka dynasty. The power of the Satavahanas began to weaken by the 3rd century CE. During the 3rd century CE, the Satavahanas' power started declining. Among the dynasties that emerged after that was the Vakataka, and the Vakataka was a powerful dynasty. It was founded by the king Vindhya Shakti. Vakataka kingdom was founded by Vindhya Shakti. He was succeeded by Pravarsen I. After his death, the kingdom of the Vakatakas got divided. There were two main branches. The capital of the first was at Nandivardhan, that is near Nagpur, and the capital of the other branch was at Vatsugulam, which is today's Wasim. Pravarsin I, son of Vindhya Shakti, extended the Vakataka kingdom in the north up to Malwa and Gujarat, and in the south up to Kolhapur. At that time, Kolhapur was known as Kuntal. We have read that the Gupta period, Chandragupta II had married his daughter Prabhavati to Rudrasen II, the Vakataka king. Rudrasen II was the Vakataka king. Varhadev, a minister of the Vakataka king Harisen, was a follower of Buddhism. Cave number 16 at Ajanta was dug at his instance. Some other caves at Ajanta were dug and beautified with paintings during Harisena's reign. The Vakataka king Pravarsin II composed Setubandh in Maharashtrian, a Prakrit language. Similarly, Kalidasa Meghdut also belongs to this period. The next is the Chalukya dynasty. The Chalukya dynasty in Karnataka was a powerful one. The kingdoms of Kadamba, Kalachari had become powerful after the decline of the Vakatakas. But the Chalukya kings established their dominance over all of them. Pulakeshi I established the rule of the Chalukya dynasty in the 16th century CE. His capital was Badami, which was earlier called Vatapi. The Chalukya king Pulakeshi II had successfully repulsed Emperor Harshvardhan's invasion. The famous temples at Badami, Aihole, and Pattadakal were built during the Chalukya period. You can see the temples over there in the picture. The next is the Pallava dynasty. The Pallavas were also a powerful dynasty in South India. You can see in the picture the map over there, yellow color. Pallava Empire. Kanchipuram in Tamil Nadu was their capital. Mahendra Varman was an able Pallava ruler, and he extended the Pallava kingdom. He was also a playwright. His son Narasimhavarman repulsed the attack on his kingdom by the Chalukya king Pulakeshi II. The famous Rath temples of Mahabalipuram were sculpted during this reign. These temples have been sculpted in single rock. The Pallavas had a powerful and well-equipped navy. During this period, India came in close contact with the countries of Southeast Asia. Internal and foreign trade flourished during their reign. Yan Chuang had visited Kanchi and recorded that people of all religions received tolerant and just treatment under the rule of the Pallava kings. The next is the Rashtrakuta dynasty. At the height of their power, the dominion of the Rashtrakuta dynasty extended from the Vindhya mountain up to Kanyakumari in the south. Their power was established first in Maharashtra by King Dantidurg. Krishnaraj I had the famous Kailas temple carved at Ellora. Up to now, we have learnt about the different dynasties that ruled ancient India. Now, in the next lesson, we are going to revive the social and cultural life in ancient India. I hope you all have understood this lesson. So here are certain question answers. You have to write them in your notebook.